Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan with the Laundromat Resource podcast. This is show 76, and I'm pumped that you're here today because today I have a huge announcement of something new that we're rolling out over here for everybody. I hope and I think that it's going to be a really big deal in our industry. But I'm going to need your help with it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you how you can help and how it's going to benefit you, hopefully. But also, I want to tell you a little bit more of the why behind the things that I'm doing. I get asked this all the time. Why are you doing the things you're doing? You're probably going to wonder why this new announcement thing, why I did that. And I want to just kind of give you the background behind it because I think it's something that is important, not just so that you know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, I know you probably don't care why I'm doing what I'm doing, but it's because I think it's something that's important for the industry. And the reason I want to talk about the why is because I want to invite everybody else to be doing this too. I see this happening more and more. And I just think that it needs to be mass adopted. So I want to invite you into the why of what I'm doing. And, hopefully you can find big ways, small ways, whatever to help perpetuate this. Cause I think it's going to be better for all of us. All right. So, first of all, let me just say a lot of action going on over on the forums. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but go check out the forums. Go and introduce yourself on the new member introduction forum. Super good place to go meet other laundromat investors and people who want to be investing in laundromats. Go over there, introduce yourself, let people know who you are, where you're at on your journey towards financial freedom through laundromat ownership. And hey, go comment on somebody else's and go welcome them to the community and get to know them a little bit and let them get to know you. So that's going on over there, but there's also, other forums happening over there. There's a laundromat specific forum where you can talk laundromats. There's a commercial real estate forum. There's a financing forum. There's a repairs forum. And so there's a whole lot of stuff going on over there. Make sure you're interacting. The more that we're all over there interacting with each other, the more valuable that becomes, the more valuable this community becomes, and the more we can do, here at Laundromat Resource and together to just take this, everything we're doing to the next level, both personally and as an industry as a whole. So, go be a part of it. Go answer some questions. Go ask some questions. Enter some conversations. Okay, cool. So there's that. I just also want to mention real quick that every single week we're doing free live webinars every Thursday, free live webinars. You can sign up for that at laundromatresource.com/events or go check out the schedule and see what's upcoming on the schedule there. I know today this podcast episode is coming out on a Thursday. Normally it comes out on Tuesday, but it's coming out a little late because I wanted to talk about, what we're rolling out today. Today's we're talking about the ABCs of running a modern laundromat. So if you're listening to this now before 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern time, this is literally the day of that it's coming out. But go sign up. If not, there's awesome webinars coming up next week. We're talking about how to start and scale your pickup and delivery. There's a how to buy your laundromat webinar. There's different webinars every single week. So come and join us over there. Some of them are me giving the webinar. Some of them, like today's and next week, we're having industry professionals coming in and giving you the goods. It's a ton of really good information and a really good time that we have together. So come join us at those webinars. They're free, they're live, they're interactive. It's a really good time, super informative. Hopefully will help take your business to the next level. Okay, so laundromatresource.com/events for that. Okay, with all that said, I want to tell you what it is that we're rolling out starting today. This is, I don't even know what date it is, November 4th, 2021. Rolling out today is Laundromat Marketplace.com. There's going to be a link for that in the show notes, which you can find at laundromatresource.com/show76. If you're on YouTube, the link for this and everything else will be either on that show notes page or down below in the description if you're on YouTube. So laundromatmarketplace.com. What is it? Why did we make it? What's going on with this thing, right? Okay, so laundromatmarketplace.com, super simple. It's just a place where agents, brokers, or owners who want to sell their laundromat can list their laundromat for free. No need to pay anything. No need to put in a credit card or anything like that. We're not collecting any payment from anybody. So it's a free place to list the website. Here's why I think it's awesome. First of all, if you're an agent or a broker listening to this, it's kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion, at least, as to why you should list your laundromats over there. Over at laundromatresource.com, we have over 10,000 people every single month and growing coming to our page every single month. We've got a self-selected buyer's email list, over 1,000 people nationwide who have signed up and said, send me deals. I want to buy a laundromat. And I just have not been able to fulfill that need. For that huge list of people, I just can't get deals fast enough. So I thought, hey, let me just send all the deals to you guys if you're going to list your laundromat over here. So that's a no-brainer. Obviously, the YouTube is growing. We're getting, pushing 5,000 people over there. We've got over 1,000 on Instagram. The email list is growing, 4,000 or 5,000 or whatever it is now. And so all of these people who are interested in laundromats and buying laundromats and selling laundromats and owning laundromats, all of this stuff are coming through this thing. And I want to send everybody who's coming through whatever channel of mine that I have who wants to buy a laundromat or sell a laundromat, I want to send them through to that website. So there's going to be traffic there. If it's something that you're interested, if you're looking to buy a laundromat right now, it's just rolling out and there's not a whole lot on, but I'm hoping to really ramp this thing up and get a whole bunch of listings on there and make it, we got a strategy to make sure that it starts ranking real high, just so that laundromats that get listed there not only are found through our channels, but also through, just the regular Google channels or, SEO, all that stuff. So we've got a good strategy for that. But all of that to say, first of all, I think it's just awesome in general to be able to, list laundromats for sale. And I'm all about connecting people in this business, right? I'm all about connecting people in this business. So if I can connect agents with people who want to sell, I think it's going to be a great place for people who want to sell a laundromat to find a good agent, which we'll talk about in a second. I think it's going to be a great place for agents to find buyers or sellers to find buyers for their laundromats, and just to connect with each other. So I'm all about that. That's why it's free. We're not charging anything. And I'll tell you, I want to be super transparent, and that's going to play into this in a second, about how, we may or may not benefit from that. But there's also some stuff in the works where there's going to be perks, for buying and selling through that website, both for buyers and sellers. Both through, some offers that we'll have that we're going to roll out, but also there's some other partners of ours that we work with over here who want to encourage this and jump on board with it. Okay. So there's going to be more and more rolling out over there. I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be great place to go do business, right? We're all looking for financial freedom. So whether you're on the sell side or you're on the buy side, or you're looking for that financial freedom through trying to list, laundromats, if you're an agent or a broker, I think it's going to be great. Okay. So real quick ask. Okay. This is all for free. Quick ask. And then I want to get into, the why and be transparent about how this benefits, us, what we're doing at Laundromat Resource here in a second. So, quick ask though, if you know of any agents, if you know of any brokers, if you know distributors who represent buyers and sellers of laundromats, if you wouldn't mind just passing on laundromatmarketplace.com and just let them know that they can list for free there, that there's going to be instant traffic going to that website. We're going to also highlight listings on Laundromat Resource, which again gets a ton of traffic. If you could just pass that on to anybody you know, I would really appreciate that. I don't try not to ask for a lot through the podcast or the YouTube or anything like that. But that's one ask. I think that would help just get this thing jump started and get it off and running if we kind of collectively do that. So as you're looking for laundromats for sale, if you're calling brokers or emailing brokers or whatever, maybe just, hey, drop them a note and just say, hey, just FYI, you can list this for free at Laundromat Marketplace. That would super, super help me out, and I think help you out and help the industry out too, because I do think this is going to be a great place to find laundromats for sale. Okay, so real quick, before I get into the bigger stuff, I just want to be totally transparent right now. How does this benefit us? Well, we're not going to ask for any money for this site ever. I don't think. Maybe there'll be paid featured listings at some point down the line or something. I don't know, but nothing major. It would be a relatively small amount. But everything's free now. Here's kind of how we benefit. Okay. So number one is we're really going to try to tackle one of my big pet peeves in this industry, which we'll get to here in a second. So that's one huge benefit to me. I'm just all about taking monkeys off my back. No pun intended for the monkey behind me here. Taking monkeys off my back. And this is one that's really bothered me because of my personal experience and a lot of like a sad amount of coaching clients that I've had over the last couple of years. And I'll talk about what that is in a second. So that's going to take one of my monkeys off my back. Hopefully that's the goal. That's a genuine purpose behind it. Other ways that we might benefit is, number one, we do, I am, an agent here in California, which means we can list here, but we're not really listing a whole lot of laundromats, right now in California. But more so is, again, all about connecting people. We're trying to connect people nationwide or even outside of the nation with good brokers to help them, get the most for their laundromat when they're trying to sell it, or buyers to be able to buy for the right price the first time. Cause I always say sky's the limit when you buy when you buy right the first time, right? And you're digging yourself out of a hole if you don't. So good agents, I'm all about connecting them. And when we do connect people with an agent, especially sellers, when we connect sellers with an agent, usually the agent will give us a referral fee. So that's how, it can benefit us a little bit, but really that's sort of secondary. But that is there. So just, there's a button on there that says, let us help you sell. That's not really for us to list I'm not going to be listing your laundromat most likely. But I'm going to try to connect you with good people if you're having a hard time finding good people. Like I know, through my own personal experiences of buying laundromats, through representing people as an agent and broker, and also through all these consulting calls that I've done, I know what a good agent looks like. I know how to find a good agent, and that's what I want to do for you. So that's that. Let us help you sell. It's not really to list I'm not soliciting listings on that site. I'm trying to pass them off to the good people. And I really genuinely think this website is going to be huge for the great agents out there. There are some great agents and there are too many bad agents. And one of my goals with this is to start to, number one, reward the great agents out there. I got some buddies who are really good agents, and I know some really not good agents too here in Southern California, in this market in particular. And I really want to reward the people who are doing a great job for both the buyers and the sellers. And I want them to do good business, and I want them to do more business and to make more money, because that means that they're helping more of you find that financial freedom through laundromat ownership, right? So that is the big thing. So one of the things that we did that I haven't really seen on any other of the listing sites, and this is the thing that prompted me to build this website, is we included an agent rating and review system. And my hope with this, my goal with this is, number one, for the great agents to get recognized publicly for their greatness, I guess, for their service to their clients, in how they represent, those clients, and, how they've treated those clients. And I want that to be visible to people, because when people like me or people like you go to sell their laundromat, sometimes it's really hard to find a good agent. And so having this rating and review system will help you find an agent as the site actually grows and is utilized more. So that rating and review system is awesome for that. But also I want it to either weed out the bad agents or cause them to step up their game. And that really is the pet peeve, the monkey that it's getting off my back, is that I've had a couple of bad experiences personally with bad agents that I didn't know were bad. I had no way of knowing were bad. And I've done way too many consulting calls with people who bought laundromats that if we would have connected before they bought the laundromat, and this is true of myself too, but if they would have connected with me before they bought that laundromat, I could have said, hey, this agent is being shady. I just had some consulting clients who I talked out of an $850,000 laundromat purchase because the agent was being shady and hiding information that was going to cost them 40% of their business shortly after they took over. That's a big deal. And I won't tolerate that, right? Like, I mean, I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that that kind of thing does not happen, because money is, you guys know, like, money is hard to come by. It doesn't matter how much you have or how little you have. It's still hard to come by. And when you lose money, the way that I lost money, the way that a lot of my consulting clients have lost money, and you're trying to dig yourself out of those holes, it's tough. And so I'm kind of trying to take things into my own hands a little bit and put them in your hands too. I think it's only going to work if it's a collective effort. I mean, I know it's only going to work if it's a collective effort, both to get utilization of that website, but also it's going to depend on our ratings and reviews. So if you have an agent that you've worked with in the past that's really good, maybe go encourage them, even if they don't have any listings right now, go encourage them to sign up and then go review them so that they can get more business, you know, both from you and from other people, and help each other out working with the best. I say this all the time, right? When you work with the best, you become one of the best, right? That's how we elevate our game, you know, disproportionately quick, is by working with the best people, learning from them, partnering with them. And so, you know, if you've worked with an agent in the past, or somebody who, you know, a distributor who buys and sells, or whoever, maybe just encourage them, hey, go create an account over here. It's free. There is, you know, you can delete your account at any time if for whatever reason you don't want to be on there. There's no obligation. Go over there because I want to give you a good rating and review, and hopefully get you some more business, right? And if you've had a bad experience with an agent, maybe tell them to go over there because you want to give them a bad rating or review. I'm just kidding. Or maybe, I don't know. But that is my goal, okay? Now, this kind of brings in the bigger picture of why I do what I'm doing with the podcast, with the YouTube, with, you know, we have so many free resources at laundromatresource.com. Go sign up for the free account. The resources tab at the top will turn into member resources. Click on that thing. There's a bunch of super valuable downloadable resources you can download for free over there. And, you know, and then obviously we have the pro membership over there that, you know, has even more stuff, and we're getting ready to really ramp that up. I'm getting excited about that too, but that's a different day. Anyways, you know, we have a ton of free resources over there. We got the free ebook on how to buy your first laundromat. I know a lot of you guys have read that multiple times even. And, you know, I just had, you know, I know a lot of you guys are consuming the YouTube videos and the podcast episodes. Some of you guys are really binging these things. It's pretty cool to hear. Just so much good stuff, right? And people ask me all the time, like, why are you doing this? You know, and now I just built another website that, you know, kind of only indirectly benefits what I'm trying to do, at least initially. And, you know, trying to, you know, help out the industry, right? And people are asking, why do you keep doing this? And there's two main things that I think are really not just missing, but have kind of been actively avoided in our industry. And I think I'm just at a point where I'm just not tolerating things anymore. And I'm just like, okay, if nobody else is doing these things, I'm just going to take things into my own hands and start doing them. So it's these two things. Okay. We have a huge problem with a lack of transparency in this industry and accountability in this industry. And I That is just unacceptable to me. And I know to a lot of you guys too, and it should be to all of us. The lack of transparency and the lack of accountability does nothing to help the laundromat owner. It only hurts us. It only hurts us. And I think actually I would add one more thing to those two is alignment. I want to see more alignment in our industry. And by that, I mean, I want to see the interest of manufacturers, of distributors, of other companies that are serving our industry, other organizations that are serving our industry. I want to see the alignment, our interests align with one another so that when they win, we win. When we win, they win. And I feel like the lack of accountability and the lack of transparency prevents us from aligning with each other. And that puts owners at a disadvantage. That puts owners at odds with the people that we depend on to run our businesses. And if we can bring alignment to our industry, then I think not only do we as owners do better, but I think that our agents do better, our distributors do better, our manufacturers do better, the other companies, the other organizations in our space all do better because we're aligned together and we're all pulling in the same direction. And right now I feel like whether we realize it as owners or not, we're pulling against some of these bigger companies that we rely on. And so finding ways to facilitate that alignment between us as owners and other companies and organizations in our space is super important to me. And so I think together we need to really advocate for transparency and for accountability in our industry, right? And my creating this laundromatmarketplace.com, my goal behind it is to take a step towards specifically the accountability side of things, right? There is no accountability for agents right now. And so what I've seen happening is, the good agents are still doing good, but they can be hard to find. And so the bad agents are just kind of running amok over there. So what I'm going to start encouraging people who come through my channels to do is say, hey, go to Laundromat Marketplace and find an agent there in your area to work with that has some good ratings. That's what I'm going to encourage people to do. And so the reason for that is because I want to bring some accountability to the agency side of our industry right now. There's no accountability that I know of. In fact, I tried to even seek legal, and this is like way against my nature, but I even tried to seek legal action against an agent at one point. And, the lawyer basically said, you can do it, but it's going to cost you a lot of time, money, and headache. And I opted not to eventually, but then it just made me super frustrated that there was nothing that I felt like I could do. Right. So again, I'm done with that in our industry, and I am going to start doing everything that I can do to bring transparency and accountability to our industry. Now, you may have listened to other episodes in the past and have heard me kind of vocalize different things that I'm not happy with about our industry. And, I'm at a point right now where if nobody else is going to do anything about this, and there are other people who can do things about this who aren't doing things. So if nobody else is going to do anything, I'm going to do whatever I can do to try to bring this about. So that's, transparency and accountability in our industry. So, specifics are, I don't know specifics. Specifically what issues I'm going to tackle. I'm not positive. I have some ideas. You may have some ideas of what my ideas are. Specifics on how I'm going to tackle those things. Again, I have some ideas, but I'm still kind of working out the details. But here's the other thing that I want to say is that if this is something that you also feel like, hey, we could really use some accountability and transparency in this industry, and maybe you have some ideas. Like I am I don't want to call it a vendetta that I'm on. I'm on like a mission, to do this, but I don't want to go this mission alone, because you know what? It will not work if it's just me going alone. And I know it's not, because I've had lots of conversations with lots of you guys who are very well connected in this industry, who are doing very well in this industry, who are frustrated with the way things are, just like I am. But I want to encourage you, like, nothing will change unless we change it. I love the book, Extreme Ownership. And, one of the main concepts is like, hey, if there's some issue, if there's something wrong, if there's something going on, it's your fault. It's my fault, right? It's my fault. And so I take this stuff personally. I take it to heart and say, you know what? I could either complain about the lack of, accountability for agents in our industry, or I can try to do something. Will it work? I mean, to me, it seems like a no-brainer that people should list their laundromats for sale on that website, because it's free. And there's a ton of traffic that's going to be going there. It's super targeted. People who, have come through the channel, who have things to sell, have been selling things because, number one, they're giving first. And number two, there's trust being built there. So, you guys are awesome at taking action. I love that about you guys. And so, obviously for me, it's a no brainer over there, but, for me, I mean, I'm just going to start figuring out plans on ways to tackle the issues in this industry and start executing on them. I would love for more ideas, for more collaboration, for more of you guys to jump on board. There's some other, issue. Just one in particular that I've got my sights set on, and I'm not sure exactly what this is going to look like, but I hate that there is no price transparency in machines. I don't like that. That is not good for owners. And the reason I say that is because, again, I do a lot of one-on-one consulting calls, like 10 to 15 a week for the last 2 years, some free, most free, some paid. And I've seen machine quotes from a ton of people all over the country. And for example, I had one yesterday who sent me a machine quote, and the same machines that I just bought for my store, like 3 months ago, I just bought them. This person got a quote that was $6,000 per machine more than my quote. And they were a first-time laundromat owner, didn't know if it was good, bad, or what. I hate that. Like, that's not good for laundromat owners. Like, and I get right now, things are crazy all over the place, especially, I guess I shouldn't say especially in our industry, but in our industry in particular, but also in general in our nation and in the world with pricing. Inflation is getting crazy. In fact, I'm going to link to, I did a really great, man, that just sounded really conceited, but I think it is really great video on, it was actually the title of it was something like why you should buy new machines right now for your laundromat. But the whole back half of that, I'm talking about what's going on in our world right now. And I'm talking about inflation and what that means and how to take advantage of that, right? So all that to say, I'm going to link that because I think it's really good. It's worth a watch if you're interested in that. But the reason that I say, going back, I understand things are crazy right now. Prices are going through the roof for everything. Okay. So I get that. But again, this is not a one-off thing that I've seen. I've seen the prices all over the map, and it's not right. I've shared my story about how I accidentally saved 40 grand when I bought my first laundromat, and I was going to retool. I got a quote. I didn't know any better. They changed the terms on me for the financing for these machines at a week before I was supposed to get them. And so I went and talked to another distributor, and they gave me a quote on the same equipment that was 40 grand less, just like that. Right. And I didn't know any better. And I see this all the time. Right. So price transparency is huge for me. I don't know if it's something that you guys think is important. let's do something about it. Like, I think we just need to do something about it. So just stay tuned. I'm going to start knocking down dominoes, right? Nobody else is doing this. So I'm going to start knocking down dominoes for issues here that are putting up barriers between us as laundromat owners and our financial freedom through laundromat ownership, right? And all that to say, I don't want anybody to hear like, I want distributors to make their money, right? I want manufacturers to make their money. Everybody's got to make their money, right? They're not going to be able to serve us well if they're not making the money that they need to be making, right? And that's fine. I have no problem with that. And whatever those margins need to be, the beauty of capitalism is that, you can make the margins. If you can sell them at the margins you need to sell them at, you can do it, right? And I say do it, right? But just be open about what the prices are. Stop giving different quotes to different people based on their experience levels and all that, and trying to take advantage of people who just don't know any better. And again, this is not all distributors. And I caught a little flack for an episode a while back, but not all distributors are bad. In fact, there's quite a few really, really great distributors. And I'm also just, as an FYI, looking for ways to reward that similarly to the agents. Okay. And that's something that I really feel passionate about too, because I know now from experience, I partnered with a guy who is a distributor in my investment group, Diligence Capital Investment. Michael Ambrose, he's been on the podcast. He's a rock star, super good distributor. I would love to reward that guy and send him as much business as possible, because I know that if people work with him, they're going to have a way better shot of making way more money way faster, because he knows his stuff and he cares, right? And, JD Dixon, that's another one. He's been on the podcast a while back too. So, I want to reward those good distributors also. So all that to say, I'm kind of on a mission now. All right. Now I've got a lot of stuff kind of in the works. This brain is kind of going overtime all the time, but I'm also focused on some of these dominoes that I'm going to start knocking down. This is part 2, I guess. Laundromat Marketplace is part 2 of my quest for transparency and accountability, right? Laundromat Resource, just bringing information and tools and resources to owners and people who want to be owners, was sort of part 1. Laundromat Marketplace is part 2. I have like an 8 or 9. It's actually a nine domino, 9 domino mission that I've got my eyes set on. So, and that's looking long term, but man, again, it doesn't happen without you guys. And I'm not saying that all those are great ideas and that I should be doing all those. And that's why I need feedback. And that's why I want collaboration. And I want to partner with you guys to advocate for ourselves, because nobody else is doing that for us. All right. So, listen, I feel like I've been ranting and raving for a while, but I'm super fired up. I'm super excited about what's happening with Laundromat Resource. A lot of cool stuff. Hopefully you're getting a ton of value from that website, from this podcast, from the YouTube, all over the place, from the webinars, all over the place, right? Hopefully you're getting a ton of value there, whether you own a laundromat or a bunch of laundromats, or you're looking to buy your first. I think there's something for everybody there, and there's more coming where that came from. Be super excited about that. Also, looking to just continue that quest, hopefully with you guys, and really, really genuinely appreciate you guys, appreciate just all the support that you guys have given me and Laundromat Resource in general. And I could not be just more excited for the future of our industry, and for you guys, and for me, for all of us, man. I'm just pumped. I'm super pumped. Okay, guys, you rock. Do something this week. Take some action. Whether it's along the lines of advocating for transparency and accountability, or maybe that's going to require a little more thought, and your action step is to just go check out laundromatmarketplace.com and maybe drop an email to an agent, a broker, a distributor that you know, and just suggest that they go sign up for a free account over there, and then leave them a rating and review. Let's build that thing out, because I think it's going to be good for all of us. Cool. All right, guys. This is Jordan with the Laundromat Resource Podcast. Another rant and rave, but I'm super pumped about all of this. Cannot wait to do more together. All right, guys. Talk to you next week. Super good episode. Super good episode. We got an update episode coming up with a prior guest next week. Very, very excited about it. You're going to love it. He's been killing it. So, all right. Let's do it next week, and we'll see you then. Peace.